more fires today. It's creating some, I guess, dark spots in various parts. I guess with that in mind, what's going on today? I thought this was kind of interesting. It dealt with, essentially by the sounds of it, the claim that Iran is selling drones to Russia. And because of that, I guess people are just putting everyone in the same bucket, saying no more people in Iran, which makes you think, because I know there's going to be more protests and stuff today here anyways. This one here says, Ukraine expels Iranian students following Iran drone sales to Russia. Students tell MEE they have had visa renewals denied and had been told to leave Ukraine within 10 days. And these are definitely no recreational drones. It says Ukraine has begun expelling Iranian students from the country in response to Tehran's alleged exports of drone technology to Russia, Middle East Eye has learned. Iranian students told MEE that Ukrainian immigration officials had given this as the reason behind their refusal to extend the students' visas. The immigration officer behaved very angrily with us and told us our visa wouldn't get extended because of the drones and the military officers your country sends to train Russians, said Farid, an Iranian student. You should be responsible for your government's activity, he quoted the officer as telling the students. A medical student, Ahmad, who is now in Iran, told MEE he had also been ordered to leave the country within 10 days. And it was a similar theme with that person being denied. It says here, the immigration officer looked right into my eyes and said, you are being rejected because you are Iranian and your country has given drones to Russia. Ahmad also claimed that a number of students were taken to the National Security Department and interrogated. Although another expelled student confirmed this, he said those who were taken weren't willing to talk about how they had been treated. Saying here, quote, I had a number of other Iranian students even asked the university to attend the classes online from my country. But it makes you wonder, like in these cases, can you personally separate between the two? For example, people who might be of a certain, let's just say, ethnicity or culture who don't necessarily agree with the direction that the government is taking, or would you just put them all in the same bucket like here? So it's interesting to think about because there's all those massive protests in a lot of parts of the world in terms of what happened in Iran, and it makes you wonder, like here, would you have the same mentality where if one country is in a dispute for another, would you say, like in these cases, oh, I don't care about what's happening to, quote, these groups of people because you are supplying my, quote, I guess, enemies with some kind of resources. I don't care if you directly have anything to do with it, but the fact that you are related to them in some way, like culturally, we're gonna have to persecute you for that as well, unless you do something about it. Like, would you actually have that mentality in situations like that? I think for myself, unfortunately, I'm not surprised. Stuff like that happens all the time. It's just that many times when it comes to certain topics, people just don't care about it. So it's kind of interesting to think about in that sense. And at the same time, I don't see how this isn't, for example, prejudice and discrimination as an example. And considering the fact that what is happening between, let's just say, Ukraine and Russia with all the news and all that, is that kind of weird where you are fundamentally supporting prejudice and discrimination as well, if you think about it? That could go into topics, funny enough, like a drone, where, as you guys know, there's a lot of hysteria and there's a lot of people who say, oh, you are this and that, you must be dangerous, you must be spying on me, etc., etc. It's the same thing in my opinion. So ultimately, it's a bigger issue where people think it's okay to classify everyone in that way and persecuting them as if they're all the same. It's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Because it makes me think too, if you're going after people, go after the actual criminals and all that, not just everyone. Because as you guys know, here, there seems like there've been more, I guess, violent crimes and so forth. Like this one, I was just reading quickly. It says what? A suspect is in custody and BPD is investigating multiple stabbings in Crab Park overnight. Some victims have been taken to hospital, but others fled and may need medical attention. No ongoing public risk. Will have more info when it's available. I mean, there's actual stuff like this, violence that happens every single day. You should go after those specific individuals, not, again, putting everyone in the exact same category. Alright, see you guys later.